Everyone, and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the incredible classic that I had no personal experience with, Sunset Boulevard. Now, obviously I've heard of this movie. You've probably heard of this movie too. But I had never heard anyone talk about it in the way that I expected it. So I did not know what to expect from it. And it surprised me in every way. It surprised me inside the movie. It surprised me that I hadn't heard people in my life talk about it. But then again, I have not been a film nerd like I am now for very long, so that probably has something to do with it. Now, let's start off with a summary of Sunset Boulevard. So, Sunset Boulevard follows the story of a screenwriter named Joe Gillis, who is sort of down on his luck. He's not doing too great. His latest movie that he wrote called Bases Loaded. The Paramount doesn't like it at all. Some guys are after his car, and he's just in crappy situations all around. And as he's driving home one day from trying to borrow money, he gets chased by the guys who are trying to take his car, and he has to make a last-ditch effort and turn into a driveway of a decrepit mansion on Sunset Boulevard. And little does he know that this is going to change his life, the entire rest of his life. And he meets a woman named Norma Desmond, who in the world of Sunset Boulevard was once a great silent movie actress. She starred in many films. Everyone knew her. She was the greatest of the great. And most of this information about her being so great we get from her. So that is her character, being the self-centered actress. And they develop a relationship, mostly from Norma Desmond's side. But that is basically where it goes from there. So, Sunset Boulevard, I could really only think of one negative. There aren't many flaws in this movie. It does everything incredibly well. It has an amazing story, great cast, all that, which I will cover in a minute in more detail. But the one negative I have is more of a personal thing. Nearing the end of the film, there's a lot of romantic scenes, and I feel that some of it, they go really over the top. And because most of the movie is extravagant, but because of Norma Desmond, it doesn't feel as natural. But in the end, that's such a minor complaint because even those over-the-top romantic scenes were done so well that I can't complain too much. So Sunset Boulevard actually opens on a murder, which I am a huge fan of. I love mystery things. I love crime, drama, thriller, things like that. And honestly, for the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the movie, I thought it was going to be a crime drama. There's a murder, there's a guy chasing after his cars. That was a bad English on my part. But it comes off as it's going to be some sort of thriller or drama. And I was surprised when they ended up stuck in Norma Desmond's house for basically the rest of the movie. And not that I didn't like that, I just was not expecting it, and it changed my expectations throughout the movie, which is really good. This movie is also narrated by Joe Gillis, and I really enjoy narrators in movies. I think it really brings the world together. It feels like you're listening to an audiobook, which I don't really do, but it makes it feel like more of a story than what you're viewing. You feel like you're being told it. But Joe Gillis is a great narrator in this. He only shows up a few times after the beginning, but in the beginning he's pretty prevalent, and it works really well. It feels natural, and he's not boring at all, which some people don't like narrators in movies because they slow the movie down, but the action and the pacing keeps going even as he's describing what's going on. This movie is also very subtly humorous. It's not outright funny. There aren't a lot of jokes, like actual landing jokes, but the dialogue itself is quippy. Joe Gillis does a lot of jabs at other characters, and it's just sort of a chuckle thing, and I enjoy that because it keeps the spirit light, even when there's some little bit darker things in the background. Which is brings me to my next point, is this movie tackles a lot of deeper things than just a crazy old woman who's obsessed with her past, because this brings in the endless circle of fame, love, and depression. That's a triangle, but it goes in a circle. And it works really well because that's the real driving force of the story, is the relationship, her depression, and her obsession with her fame. And it's those three revolving that keeps the balance of this movie going throughout. When you get powerful moments, it's the love. When you get the down moments, it's the depression. When you get the tense moments, it's her fame and her excitement about her past. And that really works. There also are a couple great moments that I personally like, being a older movie fan. I love Charlie Chaplin, amazing, probably my favorite actor next to Jimmy Stewart. But also there is a cameo from Buster Keaton, and as I was saying about the Chaplin thing, she dresses up as Chaplin, which I thought was great, and she did an amazing job. She got the little smile, she got the nose twitch, and that just made me happy. This movie is also great in a few overall categories. The set design in the Desmond Mansion is incredible. Like, it's so complex and it's so extravagant, and it fits her style, which also bleeds into the costume design, which for her is extravagant and crazy, and everyone else is just mostly tuxedos, sort of thing. Those are all great. Also, they use a lot of really interesting camera angles, mostly with mirrors or like small windows and things like that. Things are framed on perfectly, and that was really impressive. Like, it'll stop for 10 seconds on a really cool frame or someone's face. You can just see their face, or mirrors reflecting something just the right way. In the murder at the beginning, there's a camera at the bottom of the pool where the guy is floating, and you see the cameras behind him taking pictures for the newsreel and things like that, and that is amazing as well. There are a lot of small plot twists in this movie, and then one big plot twist at the end, which you clearly know if you've seen this movie. But I was able to put together the final plot twist at the very end, about 15 minutes before it happened. It probably took people who understood the story a little better less time than that, because I had completely forgotten about the murder. I'd gotten so interested in the romance. But the final plot twist is great. The small plot twist in the middle keep the characters' arcs going everywhere. It's really sporadic, which is a good thing because you don't know what to expect. And honestly, that's about all I have to say about this movie. It is incredible. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's not necessarily one of my favorite movies because I'm personally more interested in bigger scale things. This is a very small. I like either very, very small or very, very big. The middle is kind of not for me. But I really, really did enjoy this movie. That last bit, I'm sorry if that confused you, but I did really enjoy this movie. I thought almost all aspects of it were great. And I would recommend you go see it. So I will see you guys in another video. Bye.